Alzheimer's disease is a progressive neurodegenerative disorder that gradually impairs memory, judgment, and the ability to perform everyday tasks. Although the disease cannot be reversed, a well-planned, science-based caregiving approach can slow symptom progression while allowing patients to maintain a high quality of life in a warm, safe environment. This article outlines 5 key caregiving areas: knowledge acquisition, emotional support, family role adjustments, effective communication, and home environment optimization, to help both patients and their families navigate this challenging journey together. 1. Deepening your understanding of Alzheimer's, mastering coping strategies. The current situation and common confusions. Alzheimer's disease manifests in many ways. In its early stages, patients may experience occasional forgetfulness and mild confusion. As the disease advances, issues such as emotional fluctuations and impaired judgment become more common. This can leave families feeling overwhelmed, unsure which behaviors stem from the illness and which represent the patient's true needs. For instance, in the early days of his diagnosis, Mr. John often repeatedly asked about dinner plans, an act that initially frustrated his family. However, once his daughter, Ms. Emily, educated herself on the disease's pathology, she recognized that his repetitive questioning was a natural consequence of memory decline. Instead of reacting angrily, she responded with patience and a calm tone. This adjustment not only improved the family's overall atmosphere but also granted Mr. John added reassurance in the familiar setting of his home. Enhancing knowledge and skills. Caregivers should proactively participate in relevant courses and seminars, read authoritative materials, and consult with neurologists and other experts to gain a full understanding of Alzheimer's progression, key precautions, and the latest research findings. Only by mastering the fundamental nature of the disease can one create and adjust a practical, responsive caregiving plan. 2. Building a support network, prioritizing the caregiver's well-being. The toll of caregiving and associated risks. Long-term caregiving involves more than managing the emotional ups and downs of a loved one, it also means shouldering physical fatigue and ongoing mental stress. Extended periods of high-pressure caregiving can lead to issues such as anxiety and depression, which, in turn, affect the overall quality of life within the household. For example, Mr. David, who cared for his mother on his own, found his days overwhelmed by the demands of household chores, endless planning for medical appointments, and his mother's incessant questioning. The mounting pressure eventually caused him to lose emotional control. After joining a local caregiver support group and seeking professional counseling, Mr. David slowly learned to balance his caregiving responsibilities with self-care, and his overall quality of life improved noticeably. Seeking external support and practicing self-care. Establishing a robust network that includes friends, professional healthcare providers, and community support is essential. Regular involvement in caregiver training sessions, support groups, and counseling sessions not only distributes the load but also provides a vital outlet for emotional release. Remember, you must care for yourself before you can effectively care for another person in the long run. 3. Redefining family roles, reallocating responsibilities to maintain harmony. Transforming household responsibilities. As Alzheimer's progresses, patients gradually lose their ability to manage everyday tasks. Previously, a patient might have been central to decision-making or responsible for specific duties. However, as the illness worsens, they may need to step aside so that other family members can assume these responsibilities. Striking a balance between fairly redistributing the caregiving load and preserving the patient's dignity is a challenge that every family must face. Take, for example, Ms. Jennifer's family. Her elderly father was once accustomed to driving and going shopping on his own. When his memory began to falter noticeably, the family devised a schedule that allowed his adult children to take turns accompanying him on outings. They also familiarized themselves with local public transportation options. This collaborative approach not only ensured his safety during outings but also provided every family member with a clear role in creating a warm and supportive environment. Developing contingency plans. It is advisable for families to hold regular meetings to review and adjust their caregiving strategies and role distribution. In addition, tapping into external resources, such as adult day care centers or community rehabilitation services, can help ease the family's burden. Clearly outlining each member's responsibilities and periodically updating emergency plans in line with the patient's condition can significantly reduce risks during unforeseen events. 4. Cultivating communication skills, building bridges for effective interactions. Overcoming communication barriers. Patients with Alzheimer's often struggle with blurred memories that leave them questioning reality. They can be extremely sensitive to tone and language, and unintentional raised voice or abrupt command may elicit feelings of resentment or fear. Recognizing the inner helplessness and confusion they experience is crucial, and caregivers must use gentle, patient communication methods that replace confrontation with understanding to reduce tension. For instance, when Ms. Linda became anxious because she could not recall a planned activity, Mr. Michael set aside his frustration. Speaking in a soft yet confident tone, he carefully explained the upcoming schedule while gently holding her hand. Over time, Ms. Linda's anxiety lessened, and she began to accept the slower-paced interactions, resulting in a more harmonious and caring family dynamic. Strategies for effective communication. Active listening and empathy. When patients ask questions or express confusion, listen attentively before offering a thoughtful response. Focus on reassurance rather than immediate correction. Nonverbal expressions of care, a timely hug, a gentle handshake, or a soft pat on the back can speak volumes and provide the comfort of silent reassurance, helping to calm unwarranted fears. Contextual reminders. Utilize familiar photos, music, or stories to trigger recognizable memories, therefore making conversations more intimate and less daunting. Patience and repetition. Some patients need to hear information repeatedly. In these situations, maintaining a patient demeanor and reiterating key points in simple, understandable language can be very beneficial. 5. Creating a comfortable environment, integrating smart technology with home optimization. The importance of a safe, adaptable home. A secure and comfortable living environment is foundational for the care of Alzheimer's patients. As the disease diminishes mobility and judgment, an unfamiliar or unsafe setting can cause falls, disorientation, or even wandering. Thoughtful home layouts combined with smart technology can not only foster greater independence for the patient but also enable caregivers to implement a more systematic and safe approach to care. For example, Mr. Roberts' father once lived in an older apartment building with an unreliable elevator, and he nearly wandered out one night due to confusion. In response, the family decided to upgrade his living space by installing soft, ambient lighting in every room, clearly marked signage, and an emergency call system. In addition, they added surveillance cameras and smart locks designed to prevent accidental exits. These measures dramatically increased his sense of security while allowing his caregivers to monitor his well-being closely. Home optimization and the role of advanced technologies. Barrier-free design. Incorporate anti-slip flooring, padded bumpers on furniture, and easy-to-operate fixtures to ensure a safe and accessible environment. Smart monitoring systems. Employ technology such as tracking wristbands, video surveillance, and voice-activated assistants. These tools help monitor the patient's activity in real time and facilitate rapid response during emergencies. Cognitive stimulation tools. Designate a memory corner within the home that features old photographs, familiar memorabilia, and objects that evoke pleasant memories, helping to maintain the patient's cognitive engagement. In confronting Alzheimer's disease, both patients and their families must be prepared to adapt continually. From acquiring in-depth knowledge about the disease and building strong emotional support networks to redefining household roles, mastering effective communication, and meticulously planning a safe home environment, every step is critical. We encourage families to proceed gradually, developing long-term strategies tailored to their unique situations rather than rushing headlong into changes. Through ongoing learning and dedicated practice, every family can strike a balance between caregiving and personal growth. Much like a comforting cup of tea can embody warmth and solace, every patient-centered conversation and thoughtful home modification lays the groundwork for a protective barrier around the patient's emotional well-being. Let us continue to reflect, adjust, and leverage modern technology and community resources to build a nurturing, secure, and compassionate environment. On this journey of companionship and vigilant caregiving, the compassion, patience, and wisdom of family members serve as powerful forces in helping patients regain confidence in life. Looking to the future, we hope to see even more innovative caregiving approaches and technologies emerge, ensuring that individuals with Alzheimer's can enjoy a life of dignity and enhanced quality, even amidst the challenges of this progressive disease.